Next, let us look at independent current source. Independent current source means the source current should not depend on any other parameter in the network. Now, how do we represent a current source? It is represented by a arrow, because current always has a direction of flow. Either it will flow into the node or it will flow out of the node, because it will always have some direction. That is why we show this arrow to represent the direction of flow of current. Here let us say I is equals to 5 ampere. This is my current. So this should not depend on any other parameter in the network. This can be something like this, or this can be something like this. You can see here these two currents are time dependent. It can depend on time, but it should not depend on any other parameter in the network. Same criteria as with the voltage source. The only difference is it is supplying current, a voltage source supply a potential difference, and the difference lies in the representation. There we show positive negative terminal. Here we show direction of flow of the current. Here the direction is upward. Similarly, the next is dependent current source. Dependent current source again means the value of this source or the magnitude of current will depend on some parameter in the network. It will be represented by trapezoidal box only. Trapezoidal box guarantees it is a dependent source. But here we will show an arrow because it is a current source. Now suppose I say I is equals to 4V3. Then it will be a current source which is controlled via voltage. So it will be voltage controlled current source, because this current source is controlled by a voltage V3. That is why it is a voltage controlled current source. Otherwise, if I take something like this, I is equals to 2I2, it will be a current controlled current source. Current controlled current source, because this current source is controlled by some other current, that is I2. So that is why it is a current controlled current source. Okay. So that is how we classify the voltage and current source in the network. The only difference between that I told you between practical and ideal is for ideal voltage source, internal impedance R is 0. Okay, R internal is 0. And for ideal current source, R internal is infinite. But when it comes to practical sources, how does the current and a voltage source look like? A voltage source will be something like this. This is R internal, this is V. And the current source will be something like this. Okay. There is a R internal in parallel with current source. Here you can see R internal is in series with the voltage source. Here R internal is in parallel with the current source. And for voltage source, why the R internal should be 0? Let us understand this. Suppose I connected a load here. And let's say this voltage source is of 5 volt. And due to this internal resistance, let us say there is a voltage drop of 2 volts. So 5 minus 2, 3 volts. So 3 volts we are getting across the load. It means 2 volt is getting wasted in the internal resistance. That is why we want R internal should be 0 in order to have no wastage. Okay. That is why for ideal voltage source, R internal should be 0. And for current source, R internal should be infinite. Let us understand this. Suppose I connected a load here. And let us say this current source is of 10 ampere. And I want total 10 ampere to flow in the load. Okay. But due to this internal resistance, some current will flow through this resistance. Let us say 2 ampere current flow in this R internal. So we get 8 ampere in the load. So there is a wastage of 2 ampere. That is why we want this R internal should be infinite. Because if it is infinite, this path will get open circuit. So no current will flow through this. So total current will flow through the load. That is why we want for ideal current source, it should be infinite to make it open circuit, so that the total current will flow through the load. Okay.